This week on episode 286 of the Cinema Psycho Show, we're talking about killer fembots in the shape of Kristy Swanson as we review the 1986 Wes Craven cult classic, Deadly Friend, with local special effects makeup artist, Sarah Schuck.
Oh, goody, goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Brian, John, and Elaine.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, joined by my fellow co-host and filmmaker, John Wooscroft.
How did this bonkers-ass movie escape me for all of these years?
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm surprised you didn't hear about this one, especially because of all the memes that I've seen. Like the basketball meme alone is kind of famous. But we're on episode 286, and this week is our first episode of that glorious time of the year, spooky season. And in honor of this being our first episode of spooky season, we have a guest with us today to talk about our movie of this week, which is the, I believe, 1985. Is it 85?
It looked like 85.
It was 85.
Yeah.
I think it's 1985. 1985 horror, sci-fi, teen romp, if you will call it that. Wes Craven directed Deadly Friend, and we have special effects makeup artist extraordinaire Sarah Schuck with us today. So, Sarah, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Glad to have you here, and I'm glad you're here because you can give us a play-by-play of these beautifully made practical special effects in this movie because it's glorious.
It is, honestly, they did have a budget. I will say that much.
Yeah. They
did, in fact, have a budget, which definitely shows in their quality of their work.
Sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. The very end, I was like, okay, they were running out of money here. It's like they had to pull a couple strings.
This is post Nightmare Wes Craven, okay? He's like, yeah, he's got a little bit of clout at this point, a little bit of juice in the business.
Brian, unjuiced him.
Yeah. Brian, it was 86.
86.
So we were 1 year off, but
that was close.
But yeah, so Brian, as you had mentioned, well, I should say off the air. Yeah. Brian and I don't just literally shut down until we're
not robots.
Yeah,
John.
Exactly.
My name's not BB. I'm not that.
It's BC. But
it's BC.
Yeah, is that he turned down the chance to do Nightmare 2 in order to make this movie.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know. He's just like, yeah, I made Freddy Krueger. I unleashed it across the world. But you know what? I don't want to do that. I want to make not horror movies. Like it almost reminds me a little bit of like how George Lucas for the longest time was like, I want to make my movies that are thoughtful and not space operas.
Yeah,
but give me money.
I want to make the sound waves of my farts and then paint over top of it. That's the movie I want to make.
I want to make those movies. I want to make smart, intellectual movies. Nobody wants that.
It just felt like there was a lot going on with this.
Well, that's what happened with this movie. Like, I was doing some research. I'm like, I need to know more about this. Is that I don't think it was in any way intended to be a horror movie.
No, it wasn't.
Until they went, yeah, hey, Wes, hey, idiot, you're Wes Craven. Go make it spooky. Where? You'll figure it out. Just do it.
Yeah.
Until he went too far, and they're like, now you got to re-edit this and reshoot
I don't think
this.
they went too far. It was more or less like with everything. The MPAA was like, yeah, no, it's too gory for gory's sake. So like, cut 5 frames off of this scene and 5 frames off of this scene, so we don't see someone's head exploded by a basketball any longer than we have to.
Science. Yeah, that's physics right there. A basketball can blow a person's head off of their shoulders.
Listen,
and the ball's
it was
fine.
going pretty fast. The ball was going pretty fast at the target. I'm sure I could have made it.
I think we need Mythbusters on that one. I don't know.
Listen, call them. They'll come back.
I'll call him and be like, so, Jamie and Adam, can a robot throw a ball fast enough that
To
it causes
explode
a
with its head?
person's head explode? Oh,
Well, she's
God.
not even a robot. She still has like the tendons and ligaments of a human being.
Right. I don't know where she
Yeah.
got this like superhuman strength from. I really
From
want to
BB.
know. From BB. But like she ended up having a robot skeleton.
Don't ask too many
I-
questions.
I think that was supposed to be a dream sequence because, this movie's riddled with them. Like the last refuge of a film scoundrel who doesn't know what else to do. Put a
Yeah.
dream sequence in because then you can get away with any kind
The
of like.
last refuge of a film scoundrel. That's a new one, John. That's a T-shirt right there.
Honestly. I was
Yeah.
thinking it was like Short Circuit and Reanimator, like combined. Like that was
Oh.
the love child of this movie.
Oh, see, yeah, I thought it was, I kept thinking it was
Yeah.
like Short Circuit fucked a dumpster, and that was
Yeah,
their baby.
For
you know?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Reanimator because
Yeah.
the drugs and the, I don't know, the mad
The-
lab.
Yeah, it did have some Reanimator vibes to it, just not done artfully well.
No,
Perhaps
the
we
lighting
should-
was terrible.
Perhaps we should give a little bit of background
Yes.
context to this movie.
Yeah.
Short story. Boy genius creates a robot who's capable of learning, kind of like the Terminator in Terminator 2. And
Its name is BB.
BB. Yeah, as we've all eloquently described him. And he's like, does he work at the university in the lab?
So
Is
they
that-
don't really like go into it too much. Like he's supposed to be like I guess like 15, but he's
Yeah.
super smart. So he just like has carte blanche. He's like an assistant professor or like a TA.
Like a
would
TA,
be.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got vibes out of was he was a TA.
But he was like a
Um,
15-year-old TA in like college classrooms.
That's why you don't have any friends, dude. It's like nobody likes you. You can't go to any parties. You know,
Oh,
everyone's looking at you like you're a narc. Like, yeah, no one's
They
gonna
were.
like
He
him.
probably could make his own drugs, though. He's like that smart,
yeah.
Like
I don't know.
Nuke
Oh my
in
God.
RoboCop 2.
This is
Definitely did.
This is the story of Heisenberg.
But yeah, and so I think there are two movies here because one is about a boy and his robot and his new journey into a small town, and
Yeah.
then out of nowhere, this drunken guy fucking
Starts
nearly
making
kills
stuff.
his daughter, and it's like, oh, a whole new
Well, he
fucking
doesn't.
movie just
He
started.
doesn't nearly kill her. He basically kills her. Like,
But
Yeah.
she could have. She was in a coma though. What is she? They could have kept her alive and brain dead for years, right?
guess so.
The dad didn't want that.
Yeah, because our main character, he gets introduced to the two most important characters for him in the movie: his love interest and his wide-eyed doofus friend.
I hate the doofus
Right.
friend so much.
Yeah, you could just tell that there's just a lot of hallway behind those eyes, and there's no light there.
Well,
But-
listen. Cocaine's a hell of a drug, okay? And you got to tell me, like he looks like he took like 5 bumps and then decided, okay, we're on set now. And on top of that, like he clearly is someone who came from theater acting. Like Sarah, you worked
Yeah.
with actors before, so like you know what theater acting is.
Yeah, he definitely had a lot of flamboyancy to his movements.
Yeah. It's like no one told him that, hey, there's this thing called a close up.
Yeah, play.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to play to the back
box.
row. You know?
In the box.
Yeah.
You're shooting for a box, you know?
Yeah. But I love it that he's just like, I'm going to tell the cops on you. And he's just so extreme. That's why I'm like, dude, ease up on the nose candy, my friend.
Hey, he was more
Interesting.
bangs in that scene than he was human, but
True.
But yeah, it is everyone's favorite MAGA person, Kristy Swanson, before she went completely apeshit. But
This is her
she's
first role.
that tracks. Yeah,
That tracks.
because of her performance. She's fine when she's
you
like
can
a
only
person.
go up from there, is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah. But yeah, her father's a drunken domestic violence guy. Just that's his whole arc. And it's,
Did,
you know,
did any of you guys think that he had Freddy vibes to him?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
good.
yeah.
That's not just me.
I'm sure Wes Craven has a certain way of, telling creepy guys how to be creepy. Because there's, is you know that there was a producer's decision because early in this movie when she's first goes over to the lead's house and everything, He's like, my daughter in there, why she's out of your house, and then she has to go home, and then she has a dream sequence where her father's like, I'll kill you, girl, and she breaks this vase and shoves it into his body, and like blood is just squirting out of the vase she stabbed him with, and I'm like, this was a producer's decision. They went, Wes, there's no gore yet.
The funny thing is, John, you're not wrong. Like the if you go back into how this movie like was made, like they had told him, hey, put in something like nightmare scary, in there. Like just give us one. Give us one for old time's sake.
Yeah,
Wes.
you're the dream guy.
You're the dream guy. Like, just give us one so that, we know that it's a Wes Craven movie.
And he went, I'll give you 6.
Well, no, it wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was the studio head at the time. They test screened this movie with just the one nightmare sequence, which is that one, the vase one. And it did so well that they went up to him and said, like, hey, no, this isn't the teen sci-fi romp, a la Starman, which is what this was supposed to be. It was, now I need you to make this scary as shit.
Oh, so Wes Craven was trying to carpenter it up.
He was trying to carpenter out.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He was trying to escape from it.
That tracks.
It tracks. It's like, why? Like, I don't understand that. Like, if you're good at something, like if I made a movie that is beloved by people and that clearly like had taken the world by storm, like Nightmare on Elm Street, why would you say like I don't want to do that anymore?
Typecasting.
I don't care. I wouldn't care. Maybe that's just me.
I mean, aren't there a variety of movies that you would like to make, Brian? Say they gave you the keys to the castle, and but they said you can only make horror movies about dream monsters.
I'd be fine with that.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
just ran out of ideas.
Yeah, like if someone said, "Hey, Brian, I know that you really like mobster movies," because I actually do. Like that's something that not a lot of people know. Like I really love gangster and mafia films.
I know of your love of Casino.
You know my love of Casino and Donnie Brasco. So like those are two of my favorites. But like if someone said, "Hey, Brian, you just made this really awesome horror movie that is gonna amass," because I that movie blew up in 1984. So like if someone said, hey, you know what, you can make all the genre movies you want now, no questions asked, my first idea would not be, I think I want to escape from this sort of thing. That would not be in my head. I'd be like, fine, if they want that and they pay me, sure, I will make all the scary shit because that's what I love. Like, that's where my head's at. But I guess Wes Craven was not that type of guy.
No, I think he was too motivated by money, probably. Like,
I think so too.
Maybe like an artistic decision, like, oh, I gotta like create the newest thing. I feel like that's what this movie was for sure, because there was like a lot happening.
Well, he was a very sheltered guy. I can't even remember. It was at Steel City Con.
He was I think a philosophy professor at one time.
Yeah.
Oh.
But somebody from one of his movies is talking about how he was very sheltered growing up, did not get to like watch many movies or television or anything like that, and like he knew very little about pop culture. Yeah, and it's very like quiet, sedated kind of guy. I think just to get in the business, you have to make horror movies. Cheapo horror movies. Like Last House on the Left. And he had an idea. He read an article about a kid, who died from a nightmare and went, oh, that could make an interesting flick. I bet I could write that out real quick. A little help. And
oh, come on. No, come on. No, I'm not going to besmirch the man.
No,
allegedly. Yeah. But then it's like, okay, you're the horror guy. And he went, maybe I never wanted to be the horror guy. So
yeah, that's kind of how it feels. Like he accidentally tripped into horror when he wanted to do sci-fi. I
guess so. Well, I think he just wanted to do like something else,
deep things.
Plus, I think he did not. I know this for a fact. He did not want to still be at New Line. He wanted the big budget studio film, and this was the first big budget studio film that like came to him because this caused him to be like, I'm not doing New Line anymore.
I thought it said 8 million was the budget, which is
Where the
like-
hell did it go?
Yeah, it went into those special effects. Like they
Probably.
were good, and then they progressed down. I feel like the first one was not the best with the vase. It was okay, but then the second one, like when the dad gets burned in the coal furnace, that one was really good.
Yeah. Well, the kills in this are, I'd say, probably the highlight because
They're
the
fun.
acting sure isn't.
I mean, listen, they gotta have some fun somewhere, so they just had fun with the blood, which I totally get.
See, I actually was kind of into this movie first. I'm like, boy and his robot. He's making friends. He's getting a girlfriend.
It's
This is a
fucking
good time.
Butters from South Park.
Yeah. And then like,
It's my robot friend.
but then fucking Ann Ramsey from Throw Mom from the Train has to fucking put a couple buckshots in the goddamn robot.
Yeah.
And then Kristy Swanson's dad kills her on Thanksgiving night. And it's like, oh, we're in just a completely different
All right,
fucking movie now.
I got to ask you a
Right.
question because the reaction that Paul, the main character, has when the robot dies, it makes me wonder what he did to that robot.
Oh,
Yes,
you think it's like
me
Polly's
too.
robot and Rocky IV?
I think you fucked the robot.
Well, it tracks throughout the entire movie.
It tracks.
Ryan, if you're a
it's there.
teenage genius, if you're a teenage genius and you're horny all the time and super smart, you're gonna put a fuckhole on it.
Absolutely, 100%. The base was way too big.
The base was way too big. I'm just saying, like, his reaction to BB dying, getting blown up by Throw Mama from the train, it doesn't work as, oh yes, this thing that I made is dead. It's no, that's my fuck toy is dead.
Well, what's his like friend? It was like maybe his only friend till he made Bug-Eyed
Also, his
Bike Boy.
son, like he made this thing with his two hands.
Yeah, it was like his life work,
Oh, well, I
He
guess
put a
so,
computer
but
chip in that thing.
I
It was
still
the
think-
80s.
I still think he was banging that robot.
Absolutely, 100%. We're not doubting it. But
It's amazing how robots like peanut butter just like animals do.
And it also, well, here's the thing. It also explains why that robot is hyper protective over him.
yeah,
You know?
for sure. The robot doesn't know any better.
No, it doesn't, because it's a robot.
Such a robot.
It doesn't have morals. Doesn't know that it's being used as a fuck
It didn't
toy.
know until it turned into a human girl, and then
That's
things really changed. And it looked in the mirror.
So I gotta ask, what was his plan with all that? Like Sam dies clearly, and I know we're jumping around, but it's
Yeah.
whatever. Sam dies, and suddenly he gets the idea of like, I'm just gonna put a microchip in her brain, and
He's
no
like
one's-
putting batteries in her brain.
But like, people clearly know that she like is dead and not alive anymore. Like, that's something that people might notice. Like, what was his plan?
he's thinking with his dick, Brian. He didn't have a
Yeah,
plan.
he's
Brian-
a 15-year-old boy.
And Brian, you're one of my oldest, dearest friends. If I came out to you and said, "Hey, Brian, remember how I'm like a super genius?" And you went, "Yeah." I said, "Hey, will you help me steal and defile a corpse?" What? Where you be like, "I don't know about all this," or would you be like, "Sure, buddy,
I
let's
think
go do it."
Immediately.
I think I'd be like, why do you need to steal and defile a corpse?
Well, here's the thing. You know that chick that gave me a boner? I'm gonna put microchips in her brain so I can, do something with that boner.
It sounds like a solid plan to me.
it's
I'm
a
gonna-
solid plan.
I'm just gonna go and play God. You in?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a Frankenstein monster out of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Honestly.
I mean, it was really only one boner he got from her. That was it. Like,
Yeah, only the one.
it was the one little kiss, little peck on the face.
So
And then she
that's
died.
what happens.
Oh
She
yeah,
died.
it's got to start somewhere. She's not just gonna come and grab his balls and be like, "What's up, we're neighbors."
She
What?
almost did. I saw it in her eyes.
Yeah, she wanted a piece of Paul. I don't know why, but maybe it's the
You know what? She was saving herself for Charlie Sheen going at 80 some miles an hour.
Oh,
God.
I was gonna wait until you got the chase. Sarah, have you ever seen the movie The Chase?
I have not.
Oh my god,
It's a very forgettable 90s movie.
Got you. I will put it on the list with all the other forgettable 90s movies.
Well, it's the premise of it is really just that Charlie Sheen plays an escaped convict who is also someone who at one time played a clown, and he kidnaps Kristy Swanson, who is like the heiress to the dad from Twin Peaks. Okay. And it's just basically a chase on a freeway with news cameras, and Henry Rollins is a crazed like cop, and it's insane. It's an insane movie from, I would say, an insane time, which is around 1993, 94. So like that was right around the extreme wars, if you will, of the early 90s when we were still in grunge territory. But yeah, it's a hell of a movie. One of those ones you just got to kind of watch and be like, I can't believe that someone like threw money at this.
I forgot all about Charlie Sheen. So I'm glad that we discussed this.
Oh,
remember he was an actor at one time?
Isn't he winning?
I think. Well, he used to be. I don't know about now. I haven't heard from him.
He's too busy drinking Tiger Blood or whatever the fuck it was.
So yeah, let's take a moment to think of how many laws does our lead character break. So okay, first he poisons and drugs his mother.
Drugs his mom, yeah.
Is that supposed to be roofies? Because if it is, where did he get it?
I think that is. He probably made it.
Oh,
wait,
okay.
You guys are starting too late. He had breaking and entering. He went to that old lady's yard.
Yeah, you're right. He did. Yeah. He broke and entering. He had his robot break and entering.
Yeah. And then he drugged his mom, right?
Yes.
And then what happened?
He breaks into the hospital.
Right.
Yeah. Steals a corpse.
That's 4.
Corpse.
Defiles a corpse.
Yeah, that's 5.
I'm trying to think. There's probably
run out of hands here, Chuck.
There's probably other laws like that, by having his friend involved.
His friend
and
help,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that makes him an accomplice.
Accomplice, yeah.
Let's just say 10.
10.
Yeah, 10 laws. 10 laws, yeah.
He's probably broken 10 laws.
At
probably
least.
some felonies, some misdemeanors in there. I know the playing God thing is probably not kosher.
It won't hold over in court.
Yeah, right.
Unless his last name was Trump, then he'd get away with it.
Well, I mean, he's a white man. He's like halfway there.
That's true. And it's the 80s. So
in
there
the
you
80s.
go.
So I was kind of mad. I'm like, oh man, I was enjoying the robot and everything. And I'm like, oh, now we got this weird movie where the CPU from the robot is now going to be in Kristy Swanson. I'm like, that's kind of a bummer. Then I saw her acting and I went, oh, okay, I'm in again. Because she's doing zombie robot. I think I imagine she probably watched somebody do the Dance the Robot and the Thriller music video and went, okay, that's how I'm just going to combine my performance is those two things.
And the Star Trek hands.
I was going to say, she's doing the Vulcan grip hands.
Yeah, why is she doing that?
I don't know. Robots are going to do that.
I just got to wonder if when she read the script, she was just like, so let me get this straight. I only have 1 page of dialogue, and the rest is me zombie walking around with Vulcan grip hands. Is that what this movie is?
1,000-yard stare, really.
1,000-yard stare at every, just looking and
Big
no
old
talking.
eyes. No. Just 5 words.
It could be worse. She could be Denise Richards having to fall in love with a T-Rex robot.
Or
Jennifer
Sarah,
Aniston getting...
Have you seen that movie, Tammy and the T-Rex?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Or Jennifer Aniston dancing in a McDonald's with Mac. That was her first role. She's there if you watch that on YouTube.
I blocked that one out there.
But yeah, she's doing the weird things with her hands. I think a lot of times the actors will ask for props in a stage show because they don't know what to do with their hands. So I think maybe she just went, okay, if I can just freeze them in the Vulcan thing here, maybe I won't think about my hands and I'll think about my bug-eyed zombie robot performance. And that this movie just turns into a full tilt slasher at this point because we got it set up for all the people who need to die. Got throw mama from the train. We got drunken pops. The
bully. Don't forget the bully.
Oh, yeah.
The greaser.
With the earring.
He's got one earring.
One earring.
He's got one.
It was hot. I
Back
was into it.
then, you have one earring. There you go. Like, that's it.
Absolutely.
Well, see, I
Beating
love
up
these.
kids.
Yeah, these like late 30s, between like mid 30s to 40s directors of that era, like have to work out their own issues with the bullies they had growing up.
Yeah.
So they somehow think that like a 1950s greaser still exists in 1986.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, what you doing? What is it? Looks like some kind of garbage disposal. Oh, let's go down to the malt shop. Oh, and it's like, wait, what the hell am I watching here? And
Yeah.
what 30-some-year-old bike gang just goes and beats up children?
It was getting a little West Side Story for me.
It was very West Side Story, and I love the fact that it's like a perfect suburban town, yet there's this gang
Motorcycle
of 50s motorcycle greasers.
I'm pretty sure there's a Marlon Brando movie about this.
It's like, why? Oh, that's just Big Jim and his gang of minions. They just like to ride their dirt bikes around town. No big deal. No one's gonna talk about that. No.
We talked about it for like a second, and then they like disappeared into the ether.
Well,
So-
until they popped up again because we needed
a body
kill.
count.
We needed
yeah,
another kill. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah. I'm surprised that like robot Kristy Swanson didn't like rip his dick off.
Yeah, I
Because
was
that
waiting.
happened to
They
with
set that
BB.
up. Yeah.
They set that up like where BB like grabs his dick and is just like, I'm gonna crunch it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh well, we're gonna see now robot version, not the humanoid version show up. And I'm like, oh, she's gonna totally like rip his dick off. No,
That would have been too empowering.
it would have been too empowering. Audience,
Given
male
ladies
audience.
too many ideas.
Well, male audiences would have just been in the theater, just like squirming a little bit.
Squirming
This
and
is-
worrying if their girlfriends were about to do that to them.
Hey, this is Ronald Reagan's America. We can't have dames ripping off dicks.
Absolutely.
They need to be barefoot baking pies. That's the
Well,
American
that's-
dream.
That's what she didn't rip off his dick.
Should have put it in there. I'm just saying. If I directed this movie, there would have been ample dick rip-off scenes.
Who
Listen,
knows? Maybe
I am
it's in there.
available.
I want the
You
You are
Craven cut.
available.
I am available. I got it sculpted, ready, cast.
You got it
What do you need?
sculpted. Like I got your dick rip-off effect right here.
I got it. The
The
gag's
whole
ready.
gag. Love that.
But yeah, so she goes on a killing spree, and we mentioned at the top of the episode, we'll roughly around the top, is that she kills an old woman
Yes.
with a basketball.
It's
Which-
classic.
I saw that and I went, "What?" And then the woman, like without a head, like shivers around like when you cut a chicken's head off,
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, you got to get that gore in there. That's what the studio mandated. So Wes is going to give it to you as over the top as possible. But I mean, a basketball is just full of air. I don't think you could destroy someone's fucking face with a basketball.
To be fair, I mean, we don't know whether Throw Mama from the Train's face is made out of porcelain because clearly it exploded like porcelain.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, but she's old. You know what? She has osteoporosis.
There
That's
you
what
go.
it is.
There, boom.
The
There you
worst
go.
case of
Brittle-
osteoporosis ever. Yeah. Yeah. Saw teeth, brittle bones.
Now,
It just-
I gotta ask you, Sarah, since you work in special effects, how would you have done that effect differently?
Well,
Not to throw you on the spot, but I'm throwing you on the spot.
I would have definitely added more guts. I feel like
Yeah.
it needed more like lubrication. I feel like it looked too paper mache.
But
No,
like
that's
the head
what our main
itself-
character said about BB. Needed more lubrication.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. It needed more gooey stuff all around. I feel like that would have made it more fun. Definitely more to
KY,
clean
a lot of KY jelly.
A lot of KY, lots of fake blood. It needed more. It wasn't enough blood for me, but
I will say for our main character being a super genius, he does not realize that he can't leave his dog unleashed, so to speak. Like he's just
Yeah.
like, he's like, hey, robot, zombie, Kristy Swanson, who has a blood rage. Can you just stay here
yeah.
in the attic? Okay, cool. I'm going to go like eat a turkey sandwich and take a dump. And then as soon as he leaves, she's just like leaves and kills somebody. And he goes, where did she go?
Yeah, like he didn't put no locks on those doors or nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing. No handcuffs, nothing.
Well, she would have broken through handcuffs. I mean,
Well,
everybody knows that, but like,
probably.
I find it hilarious that he has the ability to turn her off with the whole remote thing that we've seen with BB like 1,000 times, and he never uses the damn thing.
No.
Well, he was probably sick and tired of turning her off when she was alive.
Oh, come on.
Rim shot. Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
No, I think she turned herself on, like with the remote. Like after the one scene where she goes onto the old lady's house. Like,
oh, okay.
I think she like turned herself on. Maybe that's why he didn't use the remote.
I guess so. But like I figured like he would, instead of be like, I'm just gonna put you in my garage. Ah, shit, you got out of there. I'm just gonna put you in my attic. Ah, shit, you got out of there. I'm just gonna put you in my room in the corner with my very crusty socks that have not sweat in there.
Those can stand on their own, if you know what I mean.
They can stand on their own. I'm gonna put you in the corner over there, but I'm not gonna use my remote control that can clearly turn off and on your brain, and just keep that like in a holster next to my pocket protector. Like, that just blows my mind. I'm like, you basically pulled a Frankenstein here, and you're just completely okay with the monster like getting loose, and then wondering why is the monster loose?
Yeah, he's definitely serving time for this still.
Oh, he's dead.
There's makeup on him. Well, I don't know. That's one of those endings of those horror movies. I'm like, are we supposed to take that seriously?
I take it as seriously because the movie hasn't told me otherwise.
But how did she turn into BB? Evil BB, by the way. You see, like, they got that glare, like, on his face, like, and then the greatest ending music ever, BB, 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 BB. I'm like, this is, I need to buy the soundtrack now. I need it on cassette. I'll have to buy a Walkman as well. But yeah, Brian, as you mentioned, his buddy decides, he's like, I can't really deal with all the unspeakable crimes and mayhem I have brought upon this world.
He can't be his Igor anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go turn us in and everything. To which Kristy Swanson from like the upstairs window goes, "The fuck you are," and jumps out and starts.
Well, you're missing the part where he decks his friend in the face.
Oh yeah, and then he hits her.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is how this guy solves problems.
Well, he just like he goes from being like the nicest guy, like in the beginning of the movie, to like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of my only two friends, my best buddy, and then my dead chick.
Well, I went goddamn when he did that because his friend's being fairly reasonable given what he's been put through.
Yeah,
but he just turns around and sucker punches him right in the face. And then he punches Kristy Swanson. So again, defiling a corpse, but it's like, what's wrong with you? You could have killed him. Punches a woman in the face. I'm like, oh, this guy has domestic abuser written all over him.
Yeah, it's really weird that they added that.
And it's like one of those 1980s like canned sound effect punches.
Oh yeah,
like the ones that you know which ones I'm talking about. Like they're just like a brr, like just a. You're just like, wow, that had some power on it.
If you want real sound effects of punching, punch a raw piece of chicken, and that actually sounds like you hit someone in the face.
Note it.
But yeah, then Kristy Swanson just goes off and does her major killing spree. The police are always not that far behind because well this movie's 90 minutes. We got to wrap this shit up.
Yeah.
But then of course near the end, she like starts to come around. So are we supposed to infer that if we didn't have the tragedy of the police shooting her, that she would have become Kristy Swanson again? Because she says like our main character's name at the end, like she's remembering and not seeing things through the BB POV filter. So is she like was she starting to become a person again?
I don't think she could have ever completely become a person.
I mean, I think that maybe that was the Wes Craven parts that were not full of blood and gore. that
Yeah,
he
the
was
original
like,
cut. Yeah.
The original cut.
Robin's part. Yeah.
Maybe that was his parts that I'm like, hey, this is the heartwarming thing about a robot friend who, you know,
Is Awesome-o.
This is Awesome-o, okay. But I'm just saying, like, this is like, you know, she's trying to become human again, and that's the tragedy.
Yeah, I do feel like Wes Craven was like jealous of John Carpenter, and he went, "All right, you made Halloween, I made Nightmare, tie." And then John Carpenter's like, "Yeah, but all the rest of my work as compared to yours," and he went, "Fuck."
Yeah. Well, I was reading that at the time that he made this movie, his marriage was ending. He lost the directing gig for Beetlejuice and for Superman 4, which you dodged a bullet.
Oh yeah,
Superman
yeah.
4.
Good. Sorry about Beetlejuice there, Wes, but yeah, Superman 4.
You dodged Superman 4. And then on top of that, someone was trying to sue him for like a couple $1 million over A Nightmare on Elm Street. Like someone thought that his script was a ripoff of it. So like while he was making this movie, he was probably at the lowest point in his professional and personal life.
To the point where he almost cut off that ponytail.
He almost cut off the ponytail.
Yeah.
Wow.
But at the very end of the movie, yeah, Kristy Swanson gets shot, and our hero, if you want to call him that, is like, "No, my robot. I mean, my human girlfriend." And I'm like thinking,
I didn't even tap it yet. God damn it.
Yeah. Hey, everybody,
Not in human form.
Yeah, turn around real quick. Everyone, just turn around. What was that? Don't worry about it. But she's still
probably enough to do it too.
Yeah. Oh no, she probably wouldn't be one because she's like part zombie. So it'd be like if you got
Cold,
like cold macaroni and cheese, you know, like Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah.
I would say like a ham
skeleton,
sandwich.
so who knows?
Like a ham sandwich.
But I'm like, oh, we're gonna get like American Werewolf in London kind of thing. Like it's just gonna end here, you know. But
that's what I thought too.
But no, we get the people at the morgue going, "Boy, isn't it odd? What's that, Dave? You know, she died like a week ago, and then, but then she died again. Like, yeah, can't wait for this autopsy. Holy tits! All right, I'll see you in the morning, Dave. You know, they're just not like, oh dear God, what in the name of science and fuck happened? They're just really nonchalant about it. And yeah, I'm convinced this is a dream sequence of some kind because also I love that if it's not, our main hero was not questioned at all or arrested for just interrupting a police officer in the line of his duty, you know, attacking a person with a gun.
More crimes.
Yeah, and it's just like, hey, wait a minute. Well, didn't this kid have a connection to all the people that were murdered? And didn't this Kristy Swanson lady die? But then he was seen with her in his property, in his shed. Like, we should maybe bring this kid in for some questioning.
Listen. I'm going to tell you both this, okay? White guy in the 80s, wealthy, works and smart guy working at the university. That's why.
Yeah, he was fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
No,
you know who did this? Rodney King. Let's go get him, boys.
It's not the street tough.
Yeah.
It's
Open
not,
and shut
not
case.
the gang.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what to make of the ending because like he starts to get strangled by her and then like BB is underneath her skin. I think it was just one of those like, don't take it seriously. It's just one more like make you spill your popcorn moment before you leave the theater. And, you know, maybe your girlfriend will get so tantalized and tingly that you might be able to do some sticky fumblings in the back of your mom's Oldsmobile afterwards. So,
Sarah, what'd you think of the ending?
I was not expecting it. It was definitely interesting. I liked that she ended up having a skeleton that was a robot, but like, how did it materialize over the time of her? Wouldn't she have decayed? Like, her body would have decayed.
Yeah, you would think. Would think. I know for me, I think that it is not a dream sequence.
No, it's for real.
I think it's for real.
How
How that works, I don't know.
They
But
just
then
put
again,
a computer chip in her brain.
Well, I mean, John, let's think about this. Okay, this is Wes Craven we're talking about here.
Yeah.
The ending of Nightmare on Elm Street is pretty stupid.
It almost ruins a movie that I love. That's how much I hate.
That's
the
what I'm
ending
saying.
of it.
Like, if you think about this tracks with Wes Craven's endings in Nightmare on Elm Street and this one. So, like, you clearly have a moment in this movie where they do pull out and you see, like, the wide shot, and we're like, yay, that's the end. And you have that in same sort of thing with Nightmare on Elm Street, where, you know, you might want to say that, hey, this makes no sense of Heather Langenkamp just saying, I take away all your power, and I turn around and he disappears, which still makes no sense. But okay, whatever.
I don't even mind that as much as the mom getting sucked through the window.
But that's my point. Is that ending, the first ending in Nightmare on Elm Street, where she turns around and takes power, that makes more sense than she gets sucked through the window. Just like the ending of, we're gonna pull back and see, like, oh, Paul is with his dead robot friend and blah blah blah, and that's the end. That makes more sense than Kristy Swanson turns into a robot skeleton that is trying to kill Paul, which again, you're like, why?
There's a lot of question marks.
There's a lot of question marks with this movie.
Because both BB and Kristy Swanson loved him, so there'd be no reason to want to hurt him. Now, I do get why he's back in the morgue, which, by the way, it is just really fucking easy to break into the morgue at this place, isn't it?
Right, I was going to say, that's another law broken.
But I think he was probably going to do a lobotomy to cover his tracks, because as soon as they do an autopsy on her, they'd probably want to check out the brain, and they go, hey, Dave, are there microchips in our brains? I don't think so, Steve. Yeah. Well, then something fishy's going on here.
I feel like he would not have tied that loose end. I feel like he would not have gone through all that.
I think he was just trying to bring her back to life again.
Yeah, for sure. Trying to have sticky fingers. You know?
Well, that's exactly the thing, you know? I mean, this is before online dating and Grindr and, you know, Tinder and all those other DERs. So, like, you know, it's a little harder back then to get you know, some sticky fumblings. So
I heard that it took so long for pictures to load on the computer. He was just dying for it.
Well, he probably didn't have the internet.
He was a smart guy. He probably had the internet.
You think he had the ARPANET, because that's what the internet was before that? You think he had? But there weren't like, you know, porn on there back then.
It would be just like a whole bunch of ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros.
Ones and zeros that looks like a woman's naked body. You know?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You see all those ones? Yeah, I do. Oh, they look really good.
Look at how close together they are.
Oh, man.
You can always make out a woman.
Yeah. If you squint, you know, if you squint, you spit. You know what I mean?
Ew, gross. Yeah, but I think he was trying to go back in and like revive her.
I would like to think that he just would never stop doing this. Like, she's basically just a husk of skin and like intestines on a broom. Like, she's gonna make it. She's gonna make it.
That's the sequel.
Just a little dirt. Just a little dirt.
Give me a call. I got it ready.
Yeah, there should not be a sequel to this.
No, absolutely not.
Oh no, I would have loved to I would have loved a franchise out of this. You know,
could you imagine?
Like, just imagine this like in space or in the hood. Like, it would have been awesome.
Yes.
Deadly friend in the hood. Yeah. Yeah. Deadly friend in space. Yeah. Hey, you're not an astronaut.
Paul grows up and decides he's going to get into bioengineering. That's what's going to end up happening. If he didn't die, he's, that was a nightmare. What happened? Well, you know, years ago, I had this friend. She lived across the street from me, but she died. I tried to bring her back, but I saved her head. That's Frankenhooker, by the way. That's the movie Frankenhooker.
I love Frankenhooker.
Same here. That's one of my favorites. One of my favorite cult films.
That's who I'm going to be for Halloween this year.
Seriously?
Yeah, for real.
Nice.
Shout out to our friend PJ Gennard. He was on our Frankenhooker episode about 300 years ago. Yeah.
I love that movie.
It's so good. So speaking about your well, not just Halloween, but just your career, how did you get involved in special effects makeup, Sarah?
So I went to the Tom Savini School in Monessen.
Mm-hmm.
Great time. Sometimes it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
And basically, I just worked my ass off, and then I started doing theater, and then they called me for movies, and then COVID happened, and here we are.
COVID is a bitch.
Yeah.
It really was, especially if you work in the entertainment industry.
It was a lot. But because of COVID, I got to work for Netflix and Paramount. So
Oh, awesome. What things did you do for Netflix and Paramount?
for Netflix, I guess I'm gonna just the name of the show is called Rustin. It's not.
Oh, okay.
And then for Paramount, I worked for Mayor of Kingstown the second season.
Okay.
Nice. I know a couple people who worked on Mayor Kingstown.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I wish the strikes weren't happening anymore. Well, they're done.
One of them is done. One of them
Yeah.
is done.
But we're not going back to work until ?
Yeah. Dear producers who maybe listen to this podcast, doubt it.
We're getting closer.
Pay the
guys.
actors like what they need, so that Sarah can go back to work.
Please, guys, please.
We're getting closer. We're getting,
Absolutely.
But
They
the problem is that they're all under one giant conglomerate, like all the studios. So even if, like, say, Warner Brothers wanted to go to the table, but Universal Studios didn't, then it's not like Warner Brothers can just start making movies again. It has to all be
It's all of
one
yeah.
big group decision, and it's like, so there could be one like group just fucking ruining it for everybody. So,
But I have a feeling it's all the groups equally making it kind of terrible.
My money's on Amazon Studios and Netflix. Just they seem like the type of people who'd be like, yeah, you know what? We're the new kids when it comes to making movies and TV shows. So like, yeah, fuck actors.
well,
Yeah.
at no time is Netflix not hemorrhaging money. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Absolutely. I can't even get into this because it will make me probably sob. Because it's a lot, you know?
Yeah.
And like, it's like I was right on the precipice of like getting into everything, going into the union and like doing the damn thing. And then all of this happened.
Yeah. It's like, Netflix hires like Dave Chappelle, and Dave Chappelle's probably thinking, I'm not going to do this deal for less than $1 million. And Netflix sits him down. And Netflix sits him down and goes, we're going to give you $80 million. And he goes, yeah, okay. Idiots.
Thank God. It's crazy with them. Like, they underpay their actual workers on the production. And they just give the money to like the really big stars, which is a whole thing all in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with the stuff that you have worked on, now, do you do beauty makeup as well as special effects, or do you kind of like really only do the special effects stuff?
I am a jack of all trades. I do
awesome.
everything under the sun. Like, honestly, if there's something you want me to do, I could probably figure it out.
You can make me pretty?
Listen, I can't perform miracles.
I set that one up.
Absolutely. Listen, I take low-hanging fruit.
Gotcha. So what's been your like favorite gag special effects wise that you've done so far? Are you able to talk about that, or is it like one of those things like it's an NDA, I can't talk about that?
No, it's not all like that. Since we've been striking for so long, I did an independent film earlier this year, like very, very, very independent. Like, I just drove out into the middle of Pennsylvania to like help these people. We were shooting in this like haunted house. It was definitely haunted for real.
Like it was for real haunted.
Yeah, it was weird and spooky in there. And then I ended up doing an eye gag. We like shot an arrow through our actor's eye. And that is my most recent favorite gag that I've done.
How did you do it?
She killed him.
Well,
No.
Yeah, I put him in the back of my car. No, I didn't end up having the right stuff that I needed.
Okay.
So a person who was on set was like, I have scar wax. And I was like, perfect, give it to me. So a couple cotton balls, some scar wax, liquid latex. We made it happen.
Is this the one that you had posted on Instagram?
Yes.
I saw that. It's really good. I'm gonna link to it in the show notes of this because I think I mentioned this at the top of the show. I've done special effects makeup myself. John, you've seen it. And I think I made you a zombie at one time in grad school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I turned you into a zombie.
Yeah, you gave me a severed head to eat.
I gave you a severed head to eat.
Delicious.
So like I find it fascinating when you talk to special effects makeup artists and they tell you kind of like the process because everybody's different. Like you know, and I know for me, scar wax is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
To work with.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because like I'm assuming you did this recently, so like during the summer, right?
Yeah, it was like kind of hot outside, and
okay.
Well, here's the thing: it was kind of old scar wax, which I feel like helped me in my favor.
Probably.
I'm sorry to the dude who I did it on. Yes, it was old scar wax. No, we're not going to talk about it.
It's fine.
But because it was like a little dried out,
yeah,
it like helped me maneuver it better.
Oh, that's good.
And also, like if you use rubbing alcohol, like 99% alcohol, you can get the stickiness off your hands.
I've used mineral spirits before. Like
gotcha.
That's also worked. And baby oil.
Baby oil
also helps.
Somebody should have told that to BB to get the stickiness off of his hands. Yeah.
Clean its input and output ports.
BB sad.
Yeah. But I bring up because like I've done stuff with scar wax and it melts.
Oh yeah.
Almost instantly. One by just the overall temperature outside and then just by the body heat of the actor, and it's a pain in the ass, and like it's one of those things like you got to like seal it with latex really good.
Oh yeah.
And it's not fun.
Well, lucky for us on that day, it was freezing in there because there were many ghosts.
There you go.
So like it was fine.
Did you actually like see any weird shit, like ghost shit though, while you were there?
At that specific place. So it's these random people's like house is what we rented out. We go into the dining room off of their porch, and I see this huge painting above this old fireplace. Like their house was nice or whatever, but like they had this huge painting of like these French, like aristocrats, like with the white wigs, right?
Yeah.
Up on top of the fireplace, and then I walked into the next room, and there's a mirror in the painting, and there was the same mirror in the other room.
Oh, that's not creepy at all.
And I was like, what is happening here? And they had a murder basement and a murder attic. So that I didn't go into either of those. I was too scared.
Wow.
So they also had like a office that was like full mahogany, which is where we filmed what we filmed for them.
So it's kind of like Wayne Manor, but creepy.
Yeah, it was.
Wayne Manor's kind of creepy.
It was really like creepy.
Speak for yourself, John. Wayne Manor's awesome. That's my dream home. But
I feel
so with the special effects makeup stuff, have there been any gags that you've really wanted to do? Like, what's like the next thing that you really want to like do and challenge yourself at?
I mean, if I could get into the right rooms, I would love to make like a Last of Us zombie.
Oh, like with the whole like stuff growing all over the place type deal.
Like, oh yeah, those mushrooms, they're so cool. Ooh, those clickers, I love them. That is all me. I love the colors of them. And then also I saw the ghosts for the Haunted Mansion, the new Disney movie. That would have been
I
so
haven't seen that
cool.
one yet.
I haven't seen the movie, but like I follow the makeup artists who work on it, and they're like so much more dimensional, like color wise, than you think they would be. Like they're like rainbow ghosts. They're really cool.
But that tells me that like they probably did a lot with lighting to really like bring all that stuff out.
Yeah, for sure. It's like I also paint and sculpt and stuff. They like look like the same colors that I use in my paintings, which is was very cool for me to see that they're not sticking to like the normal zombie ghost color palette, you know?
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. So like if people wanted to say work with you and like, you know, give you that chance that you want to make the Last of Us zombies, how do people get in touch with you and how do like they book you? Are your rates reasonable? Would like the indie folk be able to grab you?
Absolutely. Instagram is where I do most of my work because I use it as like a online portfolio. So like anybody can shoot me a DM there. I'm in the works of making a website right now. And my rates are pretty reasonable because I do different for different projects depending on the work.
Very cool. Do you like when you're conceptualizing these stuff with the director, what's your approach to that?
Well, it depends on what they want, really.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if they wanted a basketball gag, like if they wanted me to explode somebody's head with a basketball, it would obviously be more money than like putting a fake eye of scar wax on somebody's face. You know what I mean? So it really does depend on what the shoot is calling for.
Mm-hmm.
But I also do services in like men's grooming, like shaving people and like beauty makeup. So like that's also, I worked on a independent film in West Virginia last year called Macabre Mountain.
I think I was watching the trailer for that earlier.
Yeah,
just trying to read up on you as I saw that one pop up. That's a Felissa Rose movie, isn't it?
Yeah, I loved her. She was so sweet. And also the gentleman, I think, I'm not gonna say his name wrong, but he was in House of a Thousand Corpses. Like he was one of the
Bill Moseley?
I think so.
Okay.
Well, let me double check. I'll text you his actual name because I'm not 100% sure because, you know, I don't really take pictures of the men who I do makeup on sometimes, which I should do, but it's fine. But yeah, that's what I did last year was Macabre Mountain.
Very cool.
All beauty makeup for that. I worked with another gentleman, Derek, who did the special effects for that.
Is there a difference in how you kind of like process special effects and beauty makeup? Like, or is it just kind of like we're shifting gears in that?
Yeah, normally people only hire me for one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'll never be like both, which is good for me because it would be too much work for me to do all by myself. Unless if I had like an assistant or like a team of people to help me. So yeah, it again just depends on what they're looking for.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, it's been great having you on, Sarah. What are your final thoughts on Deadly Friend before we wrap up here?
I hope when AI takes over, we all have robot skeletons.
Robot skeletons.
Oh yeah.
Just like, pop out of our skin, right? Like that's it'd have to be that. Like, it couldn't be clean. It has to be bloodless.
Messy.
Pop out of your skin.
Yes. Real.
Very cool. John, what about you? What are your final thoughts on Deadly Friend?
I love how bonkers, batshit crazy this movie is because it's two movies in one.
Mm-hmm.
And you could clearly tell the second movie was made by a very defiant director who just didn't care anymore. It's like, well, you took my star, man, and you turned it into this absolute gore schlock. So I'm going to make the kills as over the top and goofy as possible. And you're going to watch two different movies at the same time. And it's going to lead you to, what? Did the edible kick in too soon? What the fuck am I watching?
Oh, shit. I mean, for me, this is a very fun, it's a fun Halloween movie to watch. Like there are some movies that you watch this time of the year that you would never watch any other time of the year. I don't think, John, you're a fan of this holiday. Arbor Day, you're not going to go watch Deadly Friend, right? You're not going to do that. But this is a Halloween season movie. This is the only time you're going to watch this. You watch this, then maybe you watch Night of the Demons, which that is my favorite Halloween themed movie. But like it's fun, it's goofy, it's off the walls. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever, but that's okay You know, like as you said, John, it's 2 movies in one. So it's a fun ride. Plus, it was also a cheap rental. It's only like $3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this isn't a new release. There's not. You're not dropping a Chwunsky on this bitch. Yeah.
Well, it was funny. Like I told Sarah before when we were texting back and forth, I was like, "Yeah, you don't have to be like her buddy Frizzy. $30 for the blackening because that was a $30 rental when we brought him on.
It's fine. I'm sure he enjoyed it.
Oh, he did. We all of us enjoyed it when we had him on. And shout out to Frizzy for introducing us because this has been great. But
absolutely,
yeah.
So Sarah, again, where can they find you at to get in touch? You look at your work, to kind of get connected with you.
You can find me at Sarah Schuck @ MUA on Instagram. That is my Instagram. Awesome. And thank you guys so much for having me. I really had a great time.
Of course.
It's been a pleasure. Definitely check out Sarah's work. I was looking at it and like that one like monster skull thing that you have at the top is awesome.
My man.
The sculpture of it.
I got to figure out what I want to do with him.
What do you do with the monster skull thing?
Well, I kind of want to make him into like a purse or something.
That would be cool. You could Etsy that shit.
Absolutely. People would buy the fuck out of it.
Definitely. Go buy Sarah's monster skull purse when it comes out.
Absolutely. I'll keep you all posted.
Definitely. John, where can they find you at on the internets?
I'm off the grid.
You're off the grid. Okay.
Yeah.
You can't be a cryptid in this day and age. Come on.
Yeah, no, I need to get the clean slate. The perfect thing
for a
Sunday with a record.
You got to clear that bounty on your head.
Yeah. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and over on YouTube at JDubs Video Nasty.
Nice. You can find me at Brian Coddington on the X, formerly Twitter. Forever how long that is, because apparently Musk is thinking of charging people to use it because of bots, but whatever. You can also find me at Psycho Show on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We are also on the TikToks for our Gen Z and millennial folk. You can find us there at Cinema Psycho Show. Not at Psycho Show, just Cinema Psycho Show. Or you can contact us via our Discord channel. So we have a Discord channel. The link for it's in the description of this episode. Please come on there and hang out with us. Tell us what you thought about Deadly Friend if you're a fan of it. We're trying to build that up as a place where you can have conversations with us about these movies that we talk about.
You guys have a Discord? I'm gonna have
a Discord. We have a Discord. Yeah,
please do. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll send you a link for it. I'm trying to get more audience engagement because that's one of the hardest things in podcasting is trying to get audience engagement. So I set up the Discord to do that, and I'm trying to build it up for fellow movie lovers. Link for it's in the description. Aside from that, you can reach out to us the old-fashioned way by going to cinemapsychoshow.com. Be sure to like and follow us. Follow the show, especially at cinemapsychoshow.com/follow or wherever you listen to audio. And we will see you next time.
Say, young man, this BB robot sure has a lot of carbon scoring going on in here. What is all this sticky, powdery protein? Oh, don't worry about it. It's robot stuff.
It's jizz.
Baby.